Hi, welcome to your Platterful Monthly tutorial. If you're new here, check the top right corner for a little bit more about us. Okay, let's get started. We are going to get started with our red wax Gouda, so you can go ahead and take that one out of the wrapper. For this, we are going to cut it two different ways. So the first thing we're going to do is cut the wedge in half, like you'll see me do in the video. From here, we are going to take one of the halves and cut the center out of it, just like you'll see me do in this video. From there, we are just going to slice this inside, and then we're going to replace it back in that wedge as it was. These are going to be just really easy rectangular pieces that people can grab from the board. For the second wedge, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut the inside out of the wedge, and then we're going to take that inside and we are just going to cube it. Again, this is just going to make a really different look on the board from the slices we just did. It's going to be more cubed, more textured, and we're just going to replace them in that wedge to place them and style them on our board. Up next, we have our pepper jack goat cheese, so go ahead and take this one out of the wrapper. Okay, for this one, it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to cut the square in half first, and then we're going to spin it, and we are just going to slice it all the way down. One thing I like about this pepper jack goat cheese is how white and bright it is. I think it's going to give really nice visual interest on our board when you look down and you see the nice yellows from the Gouda and then the white from the pepper jack goat cheese. One way we are going to style these on our board is just to line them up. We can create movement with them as we line them up on our board for display. Another way that we're going to style them is to actually create this fan-like appearance that we can use to fan around a jam or a different spreadable. And lastly, for our large kits, we have the butter queso, so go ahead and take this one out of the wrapper. For this one, just like the name alludes, it's a very buttery and semi-soft cheese, so we are just going to take it and cube it. So the rectangle we're going to cut across into strips, and then we are going to spin it and cut it again and cube it into these nice little chunks that someone can easily grab from the board. For the placement of this one, we are going to just take these cubes and place them into clumps on our board. Again, really accessible for someone to grab and use on a bite. Okay, up first for our meats, we have our orange and ginger salami chub. So go ahead and take this one out of the paper wrapper, and then there is the plastic casing, and then there's the additional casing on the chub that we have to remove as well. Okay, to remove that last casing, what I like to do is cut off one of the ends. Then that allows me to get under that final casing and pull it up a little bit, use some kitchen scissors to cut it, and then easily rip it off. Okay, for the slicing of this one, we are going to take a super sharp knife and be very careful, but just slice it all the way down the chub in about 1/4 of an inch thick slices. Again, these turn into a really nice bite-sized slice that someone can easily grab for a bite. For the styling of these, we have two different options. We can either place them in a line, or we could take them and place them in clumps throughout our board as well. Okay, and lastly for our large kits, we have our Genoa salami. So go ahead, take this one out of the wrapper. This comes in two nice sleeves of salami, so we'll do styling for one, and then we'll do a different style for the second sleeve. So for the first sleeve, we are just going to take the slices of salami and fold them into fourths. So fold them in half like a taco, and then fold them in half again, and then we're going to stack them up. When we layer them like this, it creates this really nice ribbony effect that looks nice on your board. For the second sleeve, we are going to create a salami river. So go ahead and take 2 slices of salami, fold them in half like tacos, place one piece over the other halfway, and then fold that bottom piece up. Take another slice of salami, fold it in half like a taco, place it over the one you just folded up, and then fold down. This creates a really nice braiding motion, and it's a pattern that you can repeat, and then whenever you're done, you'll flip it and it will look like this. One tip for your river is that when you place them on your board or you're finished with them, you will want to have 2 bookends to keep them in place so that they don't accordion out and fall apart. All right, let's get into our board building. Up first is the standard. If you got the large kit, you can skip ahead to the large board build.